Hello and welcome to this week's video. Today we'll be talking about booby traps that have been used in warfare for centuries as a means of setting traps for enemy troops. While many booby traps are simple and straightforward, others are incredibly complex and require a great deal of knowledge to design and set up. Here are some examples of insane booby traps used during war. Number 1. The stick trap. This trap is named after the Pomzy stick, a sharpened bamboo stake. The trap would typically be set up by digging a pit or hole and lining it with Pomzy sticks, which were often coated with feces or poison to increase the chance of infection. The pit would then be covered with leaves or brush to conceal the trap. When an unsuspecting soldier stepped on the trap, the Pomzy sticks would impale their foot or leg, causing a painful and potentially fatal injury. Number 2, and the most American one on the list I present to you, the bouncing Betty. This trap was named for the way it would launch a mine into the air before detonating at waist height, causing devastating injuries to anyone nearby. The device was typically triggered by pressure or tripwire and was designed to be difficult to detect and disarm. The bouncing Betty was used by both the Germans and the Americans during World War II and the Korean War. Number 3, the Pomzy. This trap was developed by the Soviet Union during the Cold War and consisted of a cluster of small mines connected to a tripwire. When the tripwire was triggered, the mines would explode in a wide area, causing maximum damage. The Pomzy was designed to be highly effective against infantry and could cause casualties even if the soldiers were wearing protective gear. Number 4, the Tiger Trap. This trap was named after the tiger, a ferocious predator in Vietnam. The trap consisted of a pit lined with bamboo spikes, often coated with poison or feces. Once a soldier fell into the pit, they would be impaled and likely become infected. The Tiger Trap was highly effective against the American soldiers during the Vietnam War. This one sounds terrifying. Number 5, the Snake Pit. This trap was used by the ancient Romans to keep intruders out of important areas. The pit was filled with venomous snakes that would attack anyone who fell in. The Romans believed that the fear of the snakes would be enough to keep intruders away, but the trap was also effective in causing serious injuries or death. Number 6, the Spike Pole Trap. This trap was used during the Middle Ages and consisted of a pole with spikes at the top that would be lowered onto unsuspecting soldiers. The spikes would pierce through armor and cause severe injuries, often leading to death. The spike pole trap was often used as a defensive measure during sieges and was highly effective in slowing down enemy forces. Number 7. During dismounted patrols, the Viet Cong were known to use this booby trap to target U.S. troops. The springy, green bamboo sticks used to construct these sinister traps typically measured between 3 and 10 feet in length. One end of the stick was rigged to a tree along a footpath and cocked back like a horizontal catapult by the insurgents with plates made of barbed wire. The trap was then connected to a tripwire. The spiked end of the pole would whip around when the device was activated, striking anyone in its path and frequently impaling the victim in their legs or torso. Number 8, Cartridge Traps. One Marine Corps report says that because the 4 parts needed to make a booby trap were easy to find, so-called cartridge traps were used a lot in the Vietnam War. A small bamboo tube, a nail, a piece of wood, and any caliber of ammunition for small arms were the parts. The bamboo tube was nailed in place and set upright on a wooden foundation. The ammo cartridge was then crammed into the bamboo tube with the primer touching the nail's tip. After that, the small device was buried along a footpath with the round facing up so that it would directly strike someone's foot. The primer struck the nail when a soldier stepped on the trap, releasing the round. Number 9, Anti-Helicopter Trap. American powers ordinarily utilized Huey helicopters to embed troops into fight and clear losses. Countermeasures that attacked helicopters while they attempted to land were developed by the VC and the North Vietnamese Army. Mounting grenades, mortar rounds, and other explosive devices on trees along the landing zone surface was one strategy. When the helicopter struck a tripwire that was strung between sloppy poles on the ground, these booby traps went off. A 13-year-old Vietnamese boy was once forced by the VC to place hand grenades at various landing zones, according to the Marine Corps report mentioned earlier. The boy was instructed by the Viet Cong to string the grenade's levers and attach pieces of paper to the ends. According to the report, a helicopter's rotor wind would blow the paper. break the string and detonate the booby trap when it landed. Number 10. Mudball mines. Mudball mines were essentially M26 and M33 hand grenades encased in clay or mud that had been baked by the sun. The dried mud or clay held the spoon in place and prevented it from being released after the Viet Cong removed the safety pin from the hand grenade. The mud case would split open when the spoon was jostled, causing the explosion. Even experienced soldiers could easily overlook the device because mudball mines were easy to conceal and disguise. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more content like this, check out our page. Or like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to be notified when our new videos drop. Have a good day.